You ever have one of those mornings that feels so normal, so steady, so boring that you almost want something to happen, until it does, and you wish you'd never even thought the thought? Yeah, that happened. It was a Saturday in Augusta, Maine, one of those crystal clear mornings where you could practically drink the air, coffee in hand. My wife Pam at the kitchen table working through her never-ending mountain of invoices. Our daughter Lily still asleep in her front room, right behind the wall I'd built to keep her safe from the street. Let me back up a sec. See, I'm Hank Gregory, fixer by trade and by temperament. If it breaks, I put it right, and it's a life that fits me, rough edges and all. Pam, she's the brains, the negotiator, the one with the patience for bullies, which I never had, and which, she says, we can't afford to lack. She's right, of course, but some things are just hardwired. That wall, 3 feet high, neat red brick, permits and inspections done by the book, wasn't built for show. It was there for Lily, to mark the line between her world and a street that doesn't care about kids. I built it brick by brick, every inch a promise. This is as far as danger comes. For 2 years, it stood. And then came that Saturday. The crash was more a roar than a bang. Steel grinding, brick shattering, the sound of peace getting torn up by the roots. I don't remember dropping the wrench, just sprinting, hard in my throat, for the front yard. There, half buried in what used to be my wall, sat a silver Jeep Wrangler, engine whining, front bumper a breath away from Lily's window. Pam caught up, her gasp lost in the ringing silence as we stood there, staring at the damage. My wall in ruins, flower beds Pam had coaxed from the dust obliterated, and every nightmare I'd ever had made real. Then, out of the Jeep stumbled a girl, 17, pale, shaking, yelling into her phone, "Mom, it's totaled. My car is ruined." Not a word about almost driving through a kid's bedroom. That's when the anger started, burning away the shock. I took a step forward. Pam's hand landed on my arm, steel wrapped in warmth. "Not yet, Hank. Wait." She was right, as always. And then came the real storm. Karen Tillman, HOA president, neighborhood dictator, striding down the street in a pink bathrobe, live-streaming the whole thing. See? This is what I've been warning everyone about. That illegal wall. My daughter could have been killed. It takes a special kind of person to twist the world like that, to look at a wall that just saved 2 kids and claim it's the villain. But Karen was special. 5 years of ruling the HOA by fiat, inventing bylaws, measuring lawns, sending violation notices with little smiley faces just to twist the knife. Her eyes landed on me like I'd built a missile silo, not a safety wall. But this wasn't my first run-in. She'd fought me every step, claimed I needed her approval, called the city, sent the cops about the cement mixer noise at 10 a.m., all of it. But I'd covered every base, permit stamped, inspections by Dave the city guy, receipts and photos, every detail locked down. I did it by the book for a reason. With someone like Karen, you have to. So when she started performing for her phone, calling my handiwork a death trap, I just let Pam keep recording. Let her dig her own hole. The cops showed up, did their job, cited her daughter for inattentive driving, took statements. That night, Karen filed a complaint with the HOA. My wall was an unapproved hazard. A week of tension followed, plywood over the hole. Every drive past it a reminder of what almost happened. Then came the manila envelope. Lawsuit, $25,000 for pain, suffering, and property damage caused by my negligent, illegal wall. It was a bad novel. Accusations of blocked sight lines, bricks exploding, emotional trauma for her daughter. The only real trauma was to my savings. Pam read the complaint, face hardening. She wants a war, she's got one. We gathered everything. Permits, photos, Pam's video, security camera footage, into what Pam dubbed the Karen Tillman War Room. We found a lawyer, Ben Carter, who specialized in HOAs and looked more like a mechanic than an attorney, sleeves rolled up, direct, and no nonsense. He looked through our evidence, watched the videos, then grinned. "We're not just fighting this, we're taking it apart. We'll countersue." For the first time in days, I could breathe. But Karen doubled down. The HOA sent an official notice. The plywood over my broken wall was an unapproved modification. Fix it or pay $100 a day. I laughed until I saw Pam wasn't. "It's harassment," she said, and Ben agreed, firing off a cease and desist letter so sharp I almost felt bad for Karen. Almost. Then came her next trick. A community standards inspector, a guy named George P. Wexler, showing up with a clipboard and a fake badge, quoting bogus code sections. No warrant, no entry. I told him, and when he tried to wedge his foot in my door, I gave him the kind of look that says you're about to regret your life choices. He bolted. Turns out, Karen had hired him herself. We sent everything to Ben: witness tampering, intimidation. The war moved from paper to the doorstep. I built a decoy camera right out front, obvious as could be, while I hid a real one in the bushes. Sure enough, a kid with wire cutters showed up a few nights later, caught on 1080p. He'd been sent by Karen, paid $50 to vandalize my camera. Instead of calling the cops, I walked him home to his folks and got a signed confession. Another brick for our wall of truth. But then, a twist. Karen submitted a sworn statement from Finley, our quiet, retired neighbor, claiming he'd seen me cut corners, use bad materials, brag about it. It was a gut punch. Pam, though, pointed out Maine's one-party consent law. We recorded a conversation with Finley in his yard. He stumbled over his lies, and when Pam played him audio from the day of the crash, his voice caught on tape, blaming Brittany for flying out of her driveway. He went white as a sheet. Another domino down. The real revelation came from Lily. Kids always know. She showed us a group chat screenshot. Brittany, the morning of the crash, admitting to drinking wine at a party the night before, then texting, "My mom says we can just blame the neighbor's stupid wall." It was a pre-planned cover-up, not a panicked excuse. We sent it to Ben. He was ecstatic. This blows the whole thing wide open. Fraud, perjury, the works. And then, the wildest break yet. The delivery driver whose truck's dash cam caught the whole incident, showing Brittany looking at her phone, the wall nowhere near blocking her view, and the Jeep launching forward into the bricks. Hard evidence, high def, everything. The day in court was pure drama. Karen's lawyer painted me as a menace. Brittany wept on cue. Then Ben took the floor, laying out permits, photos, the audio of Finley contradicting himself, the kid's confession, the damning texts, and finally, the dashcam video. The judge watched, stony-faced. Then, she let loose, a withering rebuke of Karen's fraud, the lawsuit tossed out, with prejudice, full reimbursement for our costs, and a referral to the DA for criminal charges. Karen's reign as HOA president ended overnight. At the next meeting, she was ousted in a landslide. The street felt lighter. With the insurance money, I rebuilt the wall, this time stronger, more rebar, flat stones on top. Neighbors helped. Some even apologized. And you know what? I ran for the HOA board myself. First order: if anything blocks a driveway view, you install a convex mirror. Guess whose fancy hedges were first on the list? Karen's. I hand-delivered the rule, mirror included. Watching her try to swallow that was its own reward. Now, the street is quiet. Kids play. Neighbors wave. The wall stands, a promise kept. And every time Karen backs out, that mirror gives her a perfect view of the truth, of our house, of the line she couldn't cross. So, yeah, my name's Hank Gregory. I fix things. Sometimes engines, sometimes fences, sometimes the messes people make. This time, it was my family, my street, and a boundary line. And let me tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing a bully forced to look right at what they tried to break, and knowing the only thing staring back at them is the truth. Now, here's my question for you. When you see someone twisting the facts, trying to use rules as a weapon, where's the line between standing your ground and starting a war? Was I right to fight back, or did I just make it worse? Drop a comment below. Tell me your story, where you're from, and how you deal with folks like Karen. Let's get this debate rolling. What does justice look like where you live?